She looked me straight in the eye and said, "This pool isn't yours. It belongs to the HOA." That's when I knew arguing wouldn't work. So instead, I decided to prove her wrong in a way she would never forget. When I moved into my new house, I was honestly proud of it. It wasn't just any home. It had a fully fenced backyard, a clean private pool, and just enough space to finally feel like I had something of my own. The neighborhood seemed calm, organized, and well-maintained, which I later realized was because of the HOA. At first, I didn't think much about that. A few rules here and there didn't bother me, but everything changed the day I met Karen. She walked over while I was unloading boxes, clipboard in hand, sunglasses on, like she was inspecting something. "Hi, I'm Karen, HOA committee," she said without even smiling properly. I greeted her politely, trying to make a good impression, but she immediately started asking questions about my fence height, my pool maintenance schedule, even what days I planned to use it. It felt less like a welcome and more like an interrogation. Then she said something that stuck with me. "Just so you know, shared amenities need to stay accessible." I looked at her, confused, but before I could respond, she walked off like the conversation was over. A few days later, I came home from work and noticed my pool cover was slightly open. I was sure I had closed it that morning. The chairs were moved too. At first, I brushed it off, thinking maybe I forgot. But then it kept happening. Small things out of place. Water ripples like someone had just gotten out. That uneasy feeling started building, so one afternoon I decided to come home early, and that's when I saw her. Karen. Sitting by my pool like she owned the place, feet in the water, scrolling on her phone. I walked straight toward her and said, "What are you doing in my backyard?" She didn't even look surprised. "Oh, good, you're back," she said casually. "I was just using the pool." I stood there in disbelief. "This is private property," I said. She laughed, actually laughed, and replied, "No, it's not. According to HOA guidelines, this area qualifies as a shared recreational space." I thought she was joking, but her expression didn't change. I told her clearly, "This pool is on my land, inside my fence. It's not shared." She shrugged and said, "We'll see about that," before grabbing her things and leaving like nothing happened. I expected that to be the end of it. It wasn't. The next day, she came back, and the day after that, she brought someone with her. It was like she had convinced herself that my property belonged to her. I confronted her again, this time more firmly, warning her that I would call the police if she didn't stop. She stepped closer and said quietly, "You won't, because you don't have proof, and the HOA will back me." That moment changed everything. I realized she wasn't confused. She was taking advantage of the situation, and she was confident because she thought I couldn't do anything about it. So instead of arguing again, I decided to play smarter. That same night, I ordered a set of high-quality security cameras. Not the obvious kind, the kind you don't notice unless you're looking for them. I installed them around the backyard, covering every angle of the fence, the gate, and the pool itself. Then I waited. I didn't have to wait long. 2 days later, just like before, she showed up again. This time, I wasn't home. Or at least that's what she thought. I was parked a few houses away, watching everything live on my phone. And there she was, climbing over the side of my fence, like it was routine. She didn't even hesitate. She walked straight to the gate, unlocked it from the inside, and waved someone over. Within minutes, 2 other people joined her. They were laughing, setting down bags, turning on music, using my pool like it was a weekend resort. I watched the entire thing. Calm, silent, letting the cameras capture every second. They stayed there for over an hour before leaving. But this time, things were different. Because now, I had proof. A few days later, I received an official HOA notice in my mailbox. A complaint, filed by Karen. It said I was restricting access to community recreational areas and failing to comply with shared usage policies. I actually smiled reading it, because I knew exactly what she was trying to do, flip the situation before I could act. but she didn't know I was already ready. The HOA meeting was scheduled that weekend, and I made sure to attend. Karen was there, sitting confidently like she had already won. When my case came up, she immediately started speaking. This homeowner is refusing to follow HOA rules and is creating unnecessary conflict. I let her finish, let her build her story. Then I stood up and said calmly, "I'd like to present something." The room went quiet. I connected my laptop to the screen and played the footage. The first clip showed my empty backyard. Then Karen appeared, climbing over the fence. A few people leaned forward. Then came the next clip, her unlocking my gate. Then another, her and her guests using my pool, laughing, acting like they owned everything. You could feel the energy in the room shift. Someone whispered, "Is that Karen?" She tried to interrupt, saying it was misleading, but I let the video keep playing. Every angle, every moment, clear and undeniable. When it ended, I turned to the board and said, "This is what's been happening on my shared property." Silence. Then one of the board members looked at her and asked, "Is this accurate?" She didn't answer. She couldn't. The evidence spoke louder than anything she could say. Within minutes, the entire situation flipped. The same people who were ready to warn me were now questioning her authority. The HOA president cleared his throat and said, "Karen, this is a serious violation of both HOA policy and private property law." By the end of the meeting, she was removed from the committee. Just like that. No more power, no more control, and definitely no more access to my pool. As for me, I finally got what I wanted from the start. Peace. The backyard was mine again. Quiet. Private. Exactly how it should have been. But the biggest lesson? Some people don't stop when you ask nicely. They stop when they're exposed. Because the truth is, it was never about the pool. It was about control. And the moment that control was taken away, everything changed. So tell me, if someone claimed your property like this, what would you do? Would you confront them or set a trap like I did? Comment your opinion below. And don't forget to subscribe for more insane HOA and neighbor stories.